a joint. Writing songs is hard. So welcome to Gear Wizard TV. Say welcome to Gear Wizard TV. One more time. Welcome to Gear Wizard TV. Fuck it, let's line up.
Friends. It's December, and welcome to our first December episode, I suppose. But it's not just me. Oh no, it's me and my little buddy, JD.
Thank you, as always, for having me, Wizard. And as always, the first question on my mind is, what are we smoking tonight?
We are smoking Sub-Zero.
Get over here. Oh, wrong character. Sorry. Well, I'll save that for when you smoke Chameleon.
Scorpion.
Scorpion. Scorpion, of course.
It was Sub-Zero's yellow brother.
Yes.
But no, this is Sub-Zero.
Who had no catchphrase?
And it is yummy tasty.
Nice.
I've been saving this one. I haven't tasted it yet.
Were you saving it for when the temperatures got to below Sub-Zero?
No, I was just saving it for
zero?
the show.
How is it?
It is yummy, kind of fruity, with just a little bit of pine. And
Does that mean it's got some pinene?
it may have a little pinene. Its dominant terpene is actually linalool.
Oh, our old friend linalool. We talked about linalool, didn't we?
A little bit. Linalool, which is a little piney.
Yeah.
But it is also very relaxing. Anti-anxiety, antidepressant.
Yeah.
My kind of thing.
Yes.
But it is quite yummy. I don't think you can get the effect of my pipe. But this is my Helix.
It looks like there's some kind of well, maybe. Is there like a
Vortex?
Yes, that's it. Thank you for deciphering my finger code. Yes, this is the international sign language for vortex. Yeah, tornado-y thingy is what I was.
But you can kind of see.
Yeah.
It's dangerous, I will say.
Yeah, you're getting like probably 4 or 5 hits in one.
No, it's dangerous though because you start taking a hit, and it's just fascinating to watch.
Gotcha.
You watch it spin, and you try to make it spin. Spin a little faster, spin a little slower, and then you realize that you smoked a whole bowl.
Yeah. Oh no,
on
not
one
that.
Hit.
And it's smooth, right? I feel like I have smoked.
It does help smooth it out a lot because it spins so much it cools down quite a bit.
Science.
Science. She blinded me with science.
Speaking of which, I went to the eye doctor's today. I broke my glasses on Halloween, and I've been walking around just using these readers that I got from CVS since then. Turns out that it was good. That some that they broke though because my prescription has changed a lot. So I'm gonna have brand new glasses in about a month. Yes, it's gonna take a month.
A month?
Yeah, because insurance. My insurance only covers their contribution to some new frames every 2 years, and my 2-year mark is in January. So it was like, do you want to pay $600 now or $400 in January? And I chose the latter.
Have you checked out Warby Parker?
No, I've not.
You should.
Yeah?
I have bought glasses from Warby Parker.
What do you just send them your prescription information?
You could do it all on your phone now.
But how do you
on your phone, you just take a picture.
Oh.
With your phone, take a picture of the script Off it goes.
Yeah, and how much are you paying for Warby Parker glasses?
God, last time I did it was like 150.
Really?
Yeah.
I was exaggerating a little bit. These ones are like 320.
With
400.
really good lenses.
Yeah.
Like all the fancy shit on the lenses.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
even get all the fancy shit.
Yeah, eyeglasses, man, it's a scam.
It felt like a scam because like the doctor part of it feels legit, but then after the doctor part, you go to like this other room where there's like a car salesman that talks to you basically. And she was like, "Do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this?" And I'm like, "I don't think I need any of that." The one thing I said yes to was the blue light filter. She was like, "Are you staring at screens all day?" All day, literally all day. At work, all day. At home, all day. So yes, I'm staring at and she swore that the blue light is good for your eyes if you're staring at screens all day. So whatever. What do you think? Think I got bamboozled by the blue light?
No, the blue light stuff is good.
Okay.
UV filter good. The anti-reflective coating is actually kind of nice if you drive at night and you get the weird star things.
Well, what I think that I should do then is buy like a backup pair from Warby Parker. So that way, if my glasses break again, which apparently it does happen, boom, there you go.
So yeah, totally non-sponsored plug for Warby Parker.
And is that do they sell brand name glasses there? Or
No, they make their own frames.
They make their own frames? Okay.
That's how they save you the money.
Gotcha, yeah, because I think I got like, what's the name of that soccer player? David Beckham. The frames I got were David Beckham frames. Not just because those were the ones that I thought looked the best on my face after trying.
Are you gonna bend them?
Pairs. yeah, that's right. I'll bend them. I'll break them the first day I get them because I'll make that joke.
Bend them like a Beckham.
Bend them like Beckham, and then I'll be on Warby Parker replacing my broken glasses.
And until then, onward through the fog.
So I heard a rumor that you have some news.
Yeah, we I don't know about everybody else, but it was holidays and we did not put together a whole lot of content other than some news. We will be talking at the end of the episode, though, our plans for next week and let y'all in on that. But spoiler, I'm not going to give you one.
Oh.
No spoiler until the end of the episode. But yeah, I thought we might talk about some of the newsy bits. Weed news, of course.
All right, good. I was getting a little scared. The non-weed news scares me.
No, just weed news.
Good.
And we'll start with the scummy stuff. So Nebraska, I don't know if you heard about this. Nebraska went to the polls and passed medical cannabis.
Hey, Nebraska, MOON.
And now attorneys in Nebraska are trying to have it thrown out, arguing that it never should have been on the ballot in the first place because there appear to be some questionable signatures on the petitions to get it on the ballot.
Somebody sign like
so it's like
Cheech and Chong.
Fuck you for passing this, but yeah, we're gonna pretend it was never there.
Oh, come on. Is it looking like, I just did a quick Google, Nebraska marijuana 2024. Does it look like it's going to actually pass though?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't followed up on it at all since it was first announced.
So Nebraska, the most recent headline I'm seeing in my very, very thorough Google search that took me 5 seconds just now, that I haven't looked through much yet, but it looks like about a week ago, a district judge sides with Nebraska medical cannabis ballot sponsors in legal challenge.
Oh, good.
So that's a good headline.
Well, good for Nebraska doing something right.
A Lancaster County District Court judge has dismissed major legal challenges against Nebraska's 2 medical cannabis petitions, although the ruling is likely to be appealed, as is the way of things. But
of course,
it's good. So it looks like it won its first round, though.
Oh, Nebraska.
I know so little about Nebraska that I think I've learned everything I learned tonight.
I drove through Nebraska on our move
Yeah.
from Colorado to Vermont.
Did you stop?
I don't think so. We might have stopped once, but I really didn't want to.
I know that in the stand, that's where Mother Abigail called all the good people to after the world ended. Hemmingford home,
Well, that's
Nebraska.
where she started, but then they all went to Boulder.
They did, right? Because she lived in Nebraska for 120 something years, or even she couldn't stand it. She's like,
Yeah.
Screw this. We're out walking to Boulder.
Now, have you heard about the Texas bill?
No, I'm
So-
afraid to.
Jessica Gonzalez, who is one of the state reps, has put forth a bill that she's going to try to get on for actual discussion in January when they open the new legislative session to
Yes.
legalize, regulate, and tax cannabis.
Yeah, I'm seeing that right here. I would get excited if I hadn't lived in Texas for as long as I have now.
Yeah, I know that I have been behind a few bills that seem to never get up to the discussion phase, let alone voting phase.
Yeah, anything that seems remotely progressive. In the 14 or 15 years I've been in Austin, there have been a train system has been voted for and been turned down, I think, at least 4 times. Anything that's new is not loved in Texas, as you and everyone listening, I think, knows about Texas. But hey,
But they do like to make money, and this could make a lot of money.
they do like to make money, and that's if they can just get that through to them. Like if they can just understand that green makes green, then yeah,
Green makes green.
then maybe. I just feel like in my gut going, that means that Greg Abbott and Ted Cruz Cruz's other buddy, who's an asshole, whose name I can't remember, are gonna be weighing in on this, and I just don't have faith in those people. But hey, I'm glad that there's someone out there, Jessica Gonzalez. I'll remember that name. I'm glad there's someone in Texas who's fighting for common sense and something good.
Although some of the tax stuff may go away. I don't think it's very likely, but you know that the DEA this year is going to look at rescheduling cannabis.
On a national level?
Yes, national level from Schedule 3 down, or from Schedule 1, moving it down to Schedule 3.
Ooh, what else is in Schedule 3? Let's find out.
Testosterone, Tylenol with codeine.
Tylenol with codeine might have gotten bumped up because of the opioid thing. Or no?
I mean, it could have. As far as I know, it has not. But no, Schedule 3 is still a bit of a pain, but much like it can be legally prescribed federally, whereas Schedule 3, you cannot. Or Schedule 1, you cannot.
Right. I mean, if it could be legally prescribed federally,
it should open
common
up.
Sense, I would, right.
It will open up the banks.
Mm-hmm.
Banks will be able to do business with cannabis. And it could take away a lot of the taxes, evidently. I'm not sure how that would work, but I know I have read about it significantly reducing taxes.
Is that good?
Which will help the retailers.
It will. Because they can cut prices. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Or keep the prices the same.
I mean, the weed itself would be the same, but you would.
Right.
Well, no, because they're not getting the tax money. So it's like in most states, For rec, you're looking at somewhere from 18 to 20%
Is it that high?
on top. Now,
Man.
only some of that, of course, is the weed tax because you've got
Right.
sales taxes. And,
But yeah, every time I do go into a dispensary, I always spend more. I never question it because it's just I'm happy to be buying weed legally. But every single time I walk into a dispensary, I think I'm spending X, and then it gets rung up, and I'm like, oh, that's so much more than I thought it was going to be. But here you go, because what am I going to do? Go find somebody on the street corner who has this exact same thing that I want? Probably not. So, yeah, there it is.
Nope. And that is the benefit of the med card.
No taxes or reduced taxes?
Well, it depends on the state and access. Like here, taxes would be significantly less, but I really don't have access to medical. There's 3 medical facilities in the whole state, and they're kind of a pain to get to, and they haven't had good selections. So, but a lot of the retail places will knock anywhere from 10 to 15% off if you have a med card, and that
Okay, good.
almost covers my taxes.
Good. Because, I mean, obviously there's a lot of reasons and things that I don't know about, but to me it seems like, why wouldn't a dispensary have a medical side to it as well? I'm guessing that the licensure must be much different. Maybe it's more expensive for
Very
them.
much. They're talking about next year changing that and letting the recreational places have a medical section.
Yeah, because it just seems like that would be the way to go. Everywhere that sells recreationally also has like a little black curtain room in the back, or that you need a badge to get into, and that's the medical room.
Right. But like in Colorado, they were almost always 2 different buildings.
Like next to each other though? Or
Sometimes,
Yep.
sometimes not.
Mhm.
But definitely, it's got to be totally separate inventory
Right.
because they pay different taxes to the growers for medical intent versus recreational intent.
Mhm.
So it'd be funny. Sometimes the strain you want would be on the rec side, but not on the medical side because they were out. Like, damn you! But as the 5 years I was there, I only recall one dispensary where it was literally just 2 different counters.
Oh, nice. And those 2 different counters got the inventory from the same place though?
I don't know. I would assume so. Just different transactions with different
Right.
taxes. Well, and the edibles were very different in Colorado.
Mm-hmm. Much stronger, right? For the medical.
Yeah, because on the rec side, it's limited to 5 milligrams per dose. And on the med side, there was no limit.
Oh my god.
I bought
that's wild.
pumpkin pie one year. So good. Best
Mhm.
pumpkin pie ever. That was like, it was a personal sized one, like a little 2-3 bitey. That 200 milligrams.
Ooh.
It was a bit heavy.
Yeah, 200's heavy. I took 100 milligrams recently in capsule form when I was in Vegas, and that was enough. So 200 would have been more than enough.
So yeah, let's take a break from the news and tell us about the Vegas dispensary experience.
So I didn't get to go to. There's one dispensary in Vegas called. Let me look up what it's called. Largest dispensary in the world, maybe in Vegas. That one is called Planet 13, and that's where I really wanted to go, but I just didn't have a chance to go there. But I did go to a place. Let me get the name right. Give credit where credit is due. That I was told. Planet 13 is very expensive, But the reason why I wanted to go to Planet 13 is because they have a lounge there, where if you buy stuff from there. By the way, my headset just beeped, so it might die abruptly in the middle of the show. I apologize if it does. But if you buy stuff from Planet 13, you get to use it. Like there's a little lounge where you can use it. So that's why I wanted to go to Planet 13, was to have that social aspect. Didn't get to go to Planet 13 though. Did hear it was very expensive. Where I did go was to oh no, sorry, I can't give them a plug. I can't find my notes. But I did go to a place that was a little bit off the strip. I was told that it was the best prices in Vegas, and it was okay. It was like you said, it was probably the kind of dispensary that is not your favorite. It was, I don't think everything in Vegas looks like it's in Vegas, right? It's all just like very flashy and ultra modern. And then the only other place that I went to was walking between casinos on the strip. There is some little indoor like shopping mall, and there's a little dispensary in there. So of course I was like, hey, I'll check it out. And this was like the dispensary that existed solely for tourist foot traffic. The only people I think who like ever are in this little building are people going between casinos. And I looked at a couple of things there, and a disposable vape pen was $90.
Whoa!
Which I decided I kind of hate Vegas anyways. It's a love-hate thing. There were things I loved about it, but I mean, everything in Vegas. I'll tell you this story. When I first got to the casino/hotel that we stayed at, I was starving. I'd been traveling all day. There's a little bodega, little store in the casino. I got a Mountain Dew, a Pepsi, a bag of chips, 2 candy bars, put them on the counter. $45. I was like, is there a CVS somewhere around here? So I put everything back and walked to the CVS. 5-minute walk to the CVS across from the casino, and bought everything for that exact same amount of food for $12 or $13. But $45 for snacks, $90 for a cartridge. So if anyone going to Vegas, just either bring lots of money just to throw away on garbage, or go buy your stuff off the strip. And I wish that I knew the name of that dispensary, but it was the dispensary that I went to. I bought the first one I went to that I was told the prices were good. I think I bought a vape pen. What did I buy? A vape pen, a couple of pre-rolls, few edibles. Everything all together, I spent less than $120, I think. So that was reasonably priced.
Yeah,
that was
good.
like, yeah, maybe 150. But it was less than 150. So, felt like decent prices.
But good.
Yeah. That is my Vegas experience. Oh, while we're on Vegas though, not weed related, but this one moment, this one scene, I think sums up everything there is to know about Vegas. There was a homeless man asking for money when we were walking between casinos, and somebody took $100 bill out of their pocket and just waved it in his face and put it away in their own pocket. And I feel like, and then of course I had $10 in my wallet, so I gave that to the guy. But I feel like that man waving $100 bill in front of a homeless person, I was like, that is Vegas. That is like, you could just take a picture of that. Like that just really nails the entire vibe of this city. So, not a huge fan.
There was a guy last time I was in Vegas. He was out in front of the Golden Nugget, and he wanted
like
$5 to buy some food.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, how do I know you're not going to gamble with this? He goes, oh, I got gambling money.
What does that mean? Then you got eating money too. I don't know what to say to that. Yeah.
That's not true. I made it up.
Well, I'm gonna believe it. I like it.
You know it's happened, right? You know it's
Yes.
happened.
It has definitely happened.
Now, when I lived in Colorado, I always carried pre-rolls around for the beggars.
Nice.
If somebody was begging for money, I'm like, I ain't got no money on me, but I got a joint.
I bet they loved you.
And they were almost always very happy to get it.
I bet.
But no, it's funny because when I remember somebody going, "Oh, you shouldn't give these guys money. They're just going to buy drugs with it." Eliminate the middleman.
Right. And frankly, I don't really care what somebody does. If somebody's begging for money, they need it for whatever they need it for. I don't know. Like I'm not.
If
I'm not
I'm
concerned with what
homeless
they
and
do
a
with it.
joint makes me feel a little better about my life,
Yeah.
I mean, fuck.
Exactly.
They deserve to feel good too.
Don't they?
Shit, they need it more than I do.
Mm-hmm. And you need it pretty bad.
Oh, I do. I do indeed.
What else we get on the weed news?
Well,
In
here's
Nebraska, maybe legalizing. Texas.
Here's a little quiz for you.
Yeah.
So the American Journal of Public Health issued a study in November. So this is current. What industry would you think the workers have the highest rates of cannabis consumption?
What industry workers highest risk?
Who's smoking the most weed out there?
Veterinarians.
Not the guess I would have made, but also not correct. No, not veterinarians. To I think very few people's surprise, certainly not mine. Food service.
Oh, okay. Well, see, food service to me seemed like the obvious one, but I went veterinarians because they have the highest suicide rate. I think out of any profession, I think I read that once, and I was thinking, yeah, maybe veterinarians need to get high. But yes, service industry. If you are working in the food service industry and not getting high at work, then you are in the minority.
And you're not doing it right.
Correct. Right.
You cannot focus in the weeds unless you got a little buzz on.
It's too overwhelming. I've been in the weeds plenty of times, stone cold sober, and I've been in the weeds on weed.
On weed?
I would much rather do it on weed. I once worked at a very busy food establishment for 3 years, completely sober though. But that is a story for another day.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It was. Yeah.
But now food service and accommodation industry, which
Oh yeah. So hotels, casinos, cruise ships, all those things. Yeah. If your job is to be accommodating to assholes, of which most people tend to be sometimes when they are at those places, weed helps. Weed helps.
Weed certainly does. I am also happy to report that 72.3% of people reported smoking cannabis. Edibles, 8.8, and vapes down at 8.2. As they should be.
I think I'm up to 88% with the math that I'm doing in my head, I think.
72 to 16, yeah, roughly. So,
What are
I
the
guess
rest
the
of
rest
these
of them
people
are boofing it.
doing? Right. 12% seems like a lot of boofers.
Yeah, they don't report on any of the rest of that.
Well, those are the big ways.
I would be interested in finding out. Because really, what else is left?
Are those statistics just from the restaurant people, or is this
No,
from?
no, this
Okay.
is workers.
Gotcha. I want to know more about this survey.
The 3 industry groups with the lowest cannabis use: management,
Management.
management of companies and enterprises, which probably means there's a lot of liars.
I was just gonna say that. I was gonna say that that is because they're just not telling the truth. That's what that is.
Public administration,
Again, just not telling the truth.
not telling the truth, also good chance they're tested.
Yeah. Okay.
And utilities.
I think that those people, A, are lying, and B, are tested as well.
Are
probably.
tested for sure, yeah.
So, right.
As far as states, what state do you think had the highest reported consumption?
Ooh, I mean, I want to say California. That seems like the obvious answer, though. So don't hold. I'm not going to do that. Or am I? I'm just going to say California.
Rhode Island.
Okay. This is the second time this week that Rhode Island has randomly come up in conversation with somebody. The previous time was because Rhode Island has an official state drink, and they serve it in their elementary schools. And do you know what that drink is?
No.
Coffee milk. So Rhode Island is the state where they have the most weed smoked because they're giving children coffee flavored milk to drink in their schools. Rhode Island is a weird place. So I don't know if that fact is surprising to me or not about the weed. Rhode Island
That's
is a
crazy.
state. I know. I know.
We have some of that coffee syrup.
Do you really?
We do.
I bet it tastes good, but there's just something.
I put it on ice cream sometimes.
There's something like psychotic about just little children drinking
No, you
coffee flavored
shouldn't
milk.
serve this in school.
I know.
I mean, maybe high school, but
Maybe. I've never even had coffee milk though. Nor did I know states had official drinks, but Rhode Island does.
is this shit caffeinated?
I don't think so, but I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't say here that it's not caffeinated.
And maybe. If it is, it's probably like a small amount of caffeine, like a Coca-Cola.
No, it sounds like they're just straining hot water and syrup through coffee grounds. Hot water and sugar strained through coffee grounds.
Gross.
And that's coffee syrup.
Yeah, well then there you go. So they're caffeinating their kids, and to come down from the caffeine, weed.
That's fucking insane.
Or maybe what that statistic that you shared means is that Rhode Island just has the least amount of liars in it because they're all hopped up on the coffee milk.
On the coffee milk. What do you know? And the lowest usage was North Dakota.
No.
I've never been to North Dakota, but it still doesn't surprise me much.
There's 225 people that live in the whole state of North Dakota. What's the biggest city in North Dakota? Bismarck? Let's see.
The only one I know of. So that's going to be my guess. Bismarck.
Let's see. Largest city in North Dakota is. Google doesn't even like. Well, what is the. Fargo. Fargo.
Oh, I know about Fargo. That's dumb.
And the population of Fargo, North Dakota, is 133,000.
Still bigger than Burlington.
Is it really?
Yeah. Burlington is less than 60 grand.
Even with all the college kids, huh? Yeah, 44,000 in Burlington, Vermont. But I bet you that Fargo, North Dakota, is much bigger. And I don't know how you could live in North Dakota and not be high. Oh, they're high. They're just high on like weed is too soft for North Dakota. I think that's meth country. I'm basing that on nothing, by the way. But I just feel in my guts like the people in Fargo, North Dakota are.
There's probably some meth going on, and probably a fentanyl issue. But hell, we have that.
Yeah. America has that, which is a bummer.
So Oakland, California voted last week to exempt cannabis from the city ordinance that prevents you from smoking or vaping in an apartment.
There's a city ordinance in Oakland that you can't smoke or vape in an apartment that you live in.
Yes.
Wow. I don't want to sound like one of those people that's anti-government, but chill the fuck out, government. That's a crazy ordinance.
I mean, most apartments won't let you smoke anyway.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, that's been a thing for a while.
Is it? I guess I don't know. Maybe I need to look closer at my lease. I don't smoke in my apartment anyways, but I just assumed I have smoked in my apartment.
Well, but here's the thing. Like, I lived in a no smoking apartment for 5 years.
Yeah.
I smoked a lot of weed in
Mhm.
that apartment. I smoked a lot of weed every day in that apartment. I got 100% of my deposit back when we left.
Because if you're just smoking weed, it doesn't really stick.
It doesn't stink.
There's no tar.
It doesn't stick to the walls.
Right.
As long as you burn a candle every once in a while, there's really
Right. Burn a candle, some incense, open
there's
a
no
window.
issues.
Yeah.
So they don't much care. They don't much care. I think the owners made them put it in the lease as a specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
But management didn't care because I didn't try real hard to hide it.
Right.
They would have had to been really stupid.
Yeah.
Not to know I was smoking weed in my apartment. But they don't care. But yeah, now in Oakland, it is actually legal to smoke cannabis and vape cannabis.
Good.
In an apartment.
Well, the potheads are moving to Oakland in droves. Yeah, I mean, vaping is like, there's no trace of vape, right?
Not really, no.
Oh. What else is going on in the wide world of weed?
Well, I know I had mentioned earlier the rescheduling hearing. It did officially open this week.
It did.
It did. It officially opened and then almost immediately tabled until January. Yeah.
Well, that's because we know what happens in January to the government, right?
Yeah, but also it's. I mean, they're going to be doing things 3 days a week. Oh no, that starts in January. 3 days a week for as long as it takes. And oddly enough, the person that Trump is nominating for the DEA is actually pro legalization.
Is he really?
Yeah, it's a sheriff from Florida.
It's not a Fox News host?
No, it's a sheriff from Florida who is pro legalization.
Okay, well, that's neat. Oh, wait, but as of 1 hour ago, they withdrew. Literally, there's a headline from 1 hour ago. It says Trump's DEA nominee withdraws.
Right.
President-elect Donald Trump's pick to lead the DEA abruptly withdrew his name from consideration on Tuesday, which, by the way, probably means that he's done all kinds of terrible things that.
Well, we already
He
knew
doesn't want
that
coming to
because he
light.
nominated him.
Right.
But no, it says to me that that is not a goal that this
To legalize?
administration is coming in with. They are not coming in with a shut this legalization thing down.
No, probably not. Yeah, I think you're probably right about that.
I mean, there's a lot of money in weed,
There is.
and
It would make the 4 years that we're about to endure. I'm sorry to get too political here, but it would make the next 4 years that we're about to endure more tolerable if we can just have weed everywhere. Just gonna throw that out there.
so yeah, we shall see.
Yeah.
And since we were talking about smoking, I found this week, and I thought it was interesting. So, 15% of United States adults report that they smoke cannabis. 11% of adults smoke cigarettes. So cannabis is officially now more popular
That doesn't surprise me at
than
all.
cigarettes.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. I'm actually surprised that 11% smoke cigarettes. I was thinking about that. Like, I think that we're in a point where I don't think 11% of the people I know are smoking cigarettes anymore.
No,
At
but
one
there's still
point,
a lot of old
80%
people
of
around.
the people I know are smoking cigarettes.
There's still a lot of old people around.
There's a couple right here. That's true. I wonder, do you believe that 15%? What do you say, 15 or 16% said they smoke weed? Do you believe that, or do you think it's even higher?
Oh, it's absolutely higher.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's people who just they won't admit it. They can't
Right.
admit it.
Yeah. And I think that people, like I know, to me, if somebody only takes edibles, but they take edibles more than 3 times a week, I consider them a weed smoker. Like, I consider them, just because that's just the term for it. I don't know, weed imbiber. No, they're getting high. It's a weed smoker. So and I think
They
that
would
there's,
not
like,
show up in this 15% though,
exactly right.
because
So
this was very specific to
smoking.
smoking.
Yeah, I feel like 30% of the country, at least, is getting high on the green. That's what I think. Although there's some age range in there, because I think, obviously we're not talking about people below 18, and I do think that there is a cutoff age. When we're talking about people over, we'll say 70, I think the number goes down quite a bit.
But you mean as far as smoking weed?
Yes,
It is going up.
because of medical.
Yeah, I don't remember the exact article.
Mhm.
No, not even just medical. Just fucking, I'm old. I'm
Destigmatization.
gonna get high.
Good.
I'm
Hey,
sure a
I
lot
can
of it
see
is
that.
medical, but also it's just
It might start medical, but I have seen that. I've seen it with my own eyes. Older people who had previously lived lives of more Victorian style and not indulged in certain things, you get to a certain point and say, you know what, fuck it. I'm old. I have 8 million things that bother me every single day. Let me give this a shot.
I'm gonna smoke this joint.
Yeah. But it does all tie in. I do think that it does tie in with, I mean, you can't get to 70 without having pains and ailments.
For sure.
That's the deal we all made when we were born.
You want some more news?
Yeah. Hit me.
Denmark. They did a long-term study. I forget exactly how long it ran. but it was a long-term study to look at cognitive decline with cannabis use. And not only was there no confirmation that long-term cannabis use would lower your cognitive functioning, but participants with a history of cannabis use experience significantly less cognitive decline than non-cannabis users.
Then how bad would my memory be if I didn't smoke weed?
Think about it.
Because I've been blaming the weed, at least in part, for years now.
The mean of the study was 44 years. Like some of the recipients, some of them didn't get studied quite as long, but the average 44-year study.
That's a long study.
Over 5,000 Danish men. So unfortunately, no women, but 5,162 Danish men to be specific. They did IQ in early adulthood with a mean age of 22 and again at 62. Yeah, significantly less. They don't give an actual number.
Huh.
Oh, here it is. Here it is. 6.2 is the mean cognitive decline among all participants. Cannabis use was associated with 1.3 IQ points less cognitive decline. So everybody's goes down a little bit. But like you can save a point of your IQ if you smoke weed, according to this study.
Well, let's get that study in front of as many people as we can. I don't think that they have found negative long-term risks yet, have they? Other than, I guess, maybe smoking of anything over a very long period of time.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yes. Just the fact that you're inhaling anything is obviously going to have an effect, but it's
Right.
nothing like cigarettes.
Right.
And I don't know that they've been able to confirm that it's even less than, living in New York City.
Mm-hmm. But they keep diagnosing that stomach nonsense that we talked about a few weeks ago.
I mean, it is a thing. I know a guy that had it.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
It's like the scare. I am terrified of having that for real. Like I would be, if I went to the doctors and they told me that I couldn't stop throwing up because of weed and that the only way to cure it would be to stop it completely, I would be very sad.
Yes, very, very sad.
Because then I'd have to keep throwing up all the time. And that's the choice I'd make.
So many extra hot showers.
Yeah.
That's what my buddy had to do. He was in the shower 4 or 5 times a day.
Did he quit?
I think he got over it. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I think he got over it.
Okay, I hope so.
They are going to rewrite the Farm Bill.
In a good way or a bad way?
The Farm Bill, well, depends on how you feel about things.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to try to get rid of the CBD loophole.
Okay.
That is not their goal. They want to close the THCA loophole.
Does that mean Delta 9 as well?
Delta 9 as well, but the one that I knew was going to get them caught was they're using the THCA factor, which for those of you who don't know, THCA is non-psychoactive. And for most strains, it is the biggest percentage of the THC content total. THC content, but it's not psychoactive until you heat it up, at which point it turns into THC
Hmm.
and is psychoactive, which is why if you're going to make edibles, they tell you that you should take weed and decarboxylate it. I hate saying that word, but as you put it in the oven, heat it up to about, I think it's 250, but my memory sucks, for about 30, 40 minutes to make all the THC turn over into THCA turn over into THC. So people have been selling this high THCA weed with low actual THC levels to get around the federal laws.
Hmm.
And it sounds like they're going to shut that down.
Mm. Yeah, it's saying here it could potentially disrupt a $28 billion gray market industry. Oof, that's a lot of people losing a lot of money if that happens.
Yep.
You know, yeah, it says the updated definitions of hemp now accounts for total THC concentration, including THCA, in addition to delta 9 THC, and not only the amount of delta H THC.
But yeah, I saw that coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is this the end for intoxicating hemp products? The bill draft is.
In places like Texas, yeah, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to mess a lot of stuff up. But it is not going to take away our access to hemp flower.
Right.
It's just good for me because I just bought a new ounce
Good.
of Remedy last night.
And yeah, we'll see. We'll see if this thing goes through or not. Whenever there's a lot of money going on, things tend to go with the side of the money.
It depends on who's making the money.
Yeah, maybe it'll get us one step closer to national legalization, though.
That's what we have to hope for.
Yeah. Well, my headset is beeping at me like it's going to die any minute. So you promised a teaser for next week.
So yeah, we did our experiment with the movie watching.
Yeah.
And it turns out that was our most popular episode. So we're going to do it again. And next week, so our first week we did Half Baked. Fairly well known, widely seen. And my choice for next week is an obscure little
Drumroll.
stoner film called J-Men Forever.
Which I have never seen.
You have never seen. I have seen an inordinate number of times. I was fascinated with this.
I haven't even looked it up yet.
Back in college. It's a done by two guys from the Firesign Theater, which I was never a big fan of. Oddly enough, the Firesign Theater.
Don't even know it.
They had a wildly popular string of comedy albums in the 60s and 70s, and I think even up into the 80s. Very surreal for American humor. Never really hit for me, and I tried listening to some recently. Like, let's go back and give the Firesign Theater another try, and it does not spark joy
No.
To quote my mother-in-law, quoting Marie Kondo. It does not spark joy. I tried. I see what they're doing, and it's I see why it's popular. It didn't work for me,
Mm.
but this movie does, and it does some things that you might not expect. And I don't want to say too much more about it until we go over it.
Yeah,
But if you're
I
at all
already.
interested in that and you want to prep for next week, anyone watching this, feel free to do your own watch and chat along with us. We would love to hear what you think about it too. We should have at least one, possibly two, maybe even three guest panelists next week.
Oh, I'm excited. Are they all going to watch it along with us on Friday?
They may not all watch it along with us on Friday. At least one of them will.
Good.
The other two are iffy on that. But they will arrive having seen. So yeah, look forward to that. We look forward to seeing you. I hope you stop by, chat along with us as we watch some slides and talk about our experiences with J-Men Forever.
And before we sign off, J-Men Forever, if you're not finding it under that title, it does have an alternate title called The Day the Earth Got Stoned. That is how it's listed on IMDb, is under the title The Day the Earth Got Stoned. So if you're having trouble finding J-Men Forever, feel free to look up that one.
I have never seen it marketed that way, but yeah, I've never looked for it, to be fair. I've never
That's
looked
funny.
for it called that.
Yeah, The Day the Earth Got Stoned. Original title, J-Men Forever. Guess they were just trying to make a few extra bucks, so they renamed it.
And heck, if you're desperate, ping us on the chat later. Leave a message here, and no promises, but you might find yourself invited to watch it along with us.
Sounds good.
I'm not supposed to say that out loud.
Oh.
But nobody's watching anyway.
Very good. Or not good, but if somebody finds this later.
JD, take us home.
All right, everybody. Well, as long as we can remember our login information, we will be here next week, same time, same place. And we will see you then. Have a good night, Wizard.
Change your bong water, and we'll see you next week. Good night.